So it's an exciting time really in educational IT right now. The cost to get a computing device in every student's hand has really come down dramatically. Devices like the iPad, new Android tablets, and netbooks really make it very cost effective to get every kid a computing device. In addition, directors of IT are looking to put voice over Wi-Fi, video surveillance over Wi-Fi, digital signage over Wi-Fi. So this is really driving the need for higher capacity Wi-Fi, higher performance Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi networks better designed to support not only data traffic, but voice and video traffic across Wi-Fi. So what we do with antenna technology in our access points is really very innovative and very different than the other vendors. So where most access points have a couple omnidirectional sticks that emit a Wi-Fi signal in a sphere, we do it completely differently. So inside our access point, there's actually 19 directional antennas, some vertical and some horizontal. What we do is on a per end station basis use a different antenna or combination of antennas to focus the Wi-Fi signal right at the end user, more like a flashlight than a light bulb. And what this does is take the full power budget of the access point, direct it at the end user. They get a stronger connection, they get better downlink performance, they can be farther away. In addition, if a certain antenna combination ceases to work well, we can try any one of our 4,000 different antenna combinations to actually steer the Wi-Fi signal around a physical obstacle or interference to still maintain a reliable connection to the client. So really, at the end of the day, beamflex gives us a much bigger footprint per AP, better performance at the same range, and better reliability. So in education, one of the big challenges is high density. So if I'm in a school and I've got 30 kids in this classroom, 30 kids in this classroom, they all come on, they all turn the laptops at the same time, they all want to get the internet at the same time, how do you adapt that environment? Or in a campus environment, if I have an auditorium with hundreds of kids all trying to get network at the same time, how well do you work in that environment? We work really well in that environment. So we have a dual band access point like other vendors, so a single 2.4 gig radio for BG and N clients, a second 5 gig radio for A and N clients, so two radios, each supporting 300 megabits of capacity, so a very high capacity dual band access point. We do support airtime fairness to ensure that every client gets the same amount of airtime as the other clients, so basically the legacy users can't hog the airtime. We also support band steering, so we'll actually steer the 5 gig cable clients to the 5 gig radio. And then in addition, the beamflex technology plays in here too. Because with beamflex, we can give the client better performance even at close ranges. If we get the clients performing more quickly, that gets them on and off the air more quickly, freeing up airtime for more users. So it's really a combination of all those technologies, dual band access points, and airtime fairness, band steering, and beamflex that allow us to really address the high density environment better than anyone else on the planet. So the benefit of getting the Wi-Fi controller out of the data plane is we remove a huge bottleneck to end performance. In the legacy approach, where the controller is in the data stream, packets would go from the client to the AP, to the controller, and then enter the network. In our approach, the controller is responsible for authenticating the user. But once the user is authenticated, the packets flow from the client to the AP and then enter the network, not going through the controller. Now, if you look at the modern N access point, it can generate up to 600 megabits of traffic onto the wire. If you have 100 access points times 600 megabits is 60 gigabits of traffic. There's no controller that can swallow 60 gigabits of traffic. So we basically get out of the way. If you imagine in a school district where you have maybe 20 schools, a bunch of access points per school, and you want to factor the controllers back into the district office, this is a huge benefit. Because in the legacy approach, all your Wi-Fi traffic would flow across the WAN, even if it was destined to a local location in the school. In our approach, traffic that's local to the school stays local to the school. And basically, we remove a huge performance bottleneck by getting the controller out of the data plane. When we were formed 6 years ago in 2005, the first problem we saw was how to deliver HDT video reliably over a Wi-Fi network. And we have solutions we sell to carriers today where they can plop our gear into a home and they can actually deliver HDTV 1080p over Wi-Fi to up to 4 set-top boxes per house in a 4,000 square foot home. So there's a huge amount of intellectual property Ruckus has in terms of delivering video over Wi-Fi. We have very powerful quality of service engine to take care of prioritizing the video traffic. We also provide an extremely consistent Wi-Fi signal. Where a lot of other vendors, the performance of Wi-Fi goes up and down dramatically, we provide a much more consistent signal which allows us to sustain multiple video streams across Wi-Fi reliably. We also hold the patent to delivering multicast video over Wi-Fi networks. When it comes to delivering high quality, high performance unicast and multicast over Wi-Fi traffic, no one does it better than Ruckus. We've done a number of things to make Wi-Fi dramatically easier to deploy and manage. So first and foremost, the site survey is much easier. You can really do a very informal site survey, and actually when you place the APs, you can be much more blasé in where you place them. Because our APs are so powerful and so intelligent, you can do that, and that's just fine. Secondly, installation and management is very easy. You can actually configure and manage your Wi-Fi network in probably under an hour. We've made meshing very easy. We've made authentication against Active Directory very easy. Really one of the easiest Wi-Fi solutions on the planet to deploy. Typically in a school, you're going to plug the majority of your access points into Ethernet. But there are certain areas where being able to plug an AP just into power without connecting it physically to your Ethernet network is very attractive. Example, the sports stadiums, the outdoor quads, portable buildings, cafeterias, auditoriums, all these areas where it's cost prohibitive to run cable out to the access points, meshing is very attractive. And what we've done with meshing is, one, made it very easy to install and deploy, and then secondly, because our APs have this very powerful antenna array, when mesh node A talks to mesh node B, we leverage those direct antennas so the APs talk in a more directional nature versus an omnidirectional nature. That allows you to put the APs farther apart and still have a very highly reliable mesh network. So we've done a number of things to make Wi-Fi more affordable than ever for school districts and higher education organizations. One, our acquisition price is about 40% less than Cisco. Two, you typically need about 40% less gear to cover your campus. And that's exciting because you need 40% less Ruckus access points, 40% fewer controller licenses, 40% less Cat5, 40% less PoE, and then 40% less support for all of that, and 40% less power to power the whole thing. So that's a huge TCO savings. In addition, all the indoor product comes with a lifetime warranty, so your cost of ownership after year one is very low. So when you combine really lower acquisition price, the need for less gear, and lifetime warranty, it's really a very attractive TCO story. So our value proposition to an educational organization, first and foremost, is centered around better Wi-Fi. So better performance, better coverage, better performance at range, better support for higher density, and the ability to actually avoid physical obstacles and interference. Better Wi-Fi. Secondly, we made everything easy. So everything about our solution is super easy to install, manage, configure, support. Exceptional support for not only data and voice, but also video traffic over Wi-Fi, both unicast and multicast. And then fourthly, lowest TCO on the planet.